Okay. Okay, so I'm here today and I'm gonna talk about the boots I use for splitboarding. You see some of the boots here are not splitboarding boots, but I think it's a nice comparison to do. So I have the key equipment Copala edition. I have a Technica 0G which I ski in. I have the Scarpa F1 LT that I ski in. And I have the Nitro Team boot, soft boot, which I use in the lift when snowboarding. I have some stuff for the bindings, the phantom bindings, the 3-in-1 cleats. I have the set angles, and of course I have the bindings. I also have the weight. So today I'm going to talk about the shoes, the bindings, and just do a little bit of comparison on the weight. A lot of people think about the hard boots, and maybe some of the hard boots out there, they are really light, but they are not snowboard boots. This, for example, I've seen people snowboard in this. I don't know. It's not a snowboard boot, it's made for skiing. It's the plastic aramid thing. It's just super duper stiff. But let's do that after and dive in with the boots. Just a quick story on how I came into splitboarding or hard booting. I started splitboarding, of course, soft boots, the transition from snowshoes, transitioned over to the splitboard. I did a lot of height meters the first 2 seasons. My ankles, my knees, my hips and my back was really sore. But I just struggled a lot on traverses, like if you have a bad season with not that much good snow, and you have to do a lot of traversing on hard packed snow. I think it's a big difference transitioning into hard boots. And so the transition happened when there was this thing called Arctic Splitboard Challenge. You showed up, it was like the first person to go up and down the mountain won. So it was all about fitness and everything. So I came there with my baggy clothes, with my big shoes, soft boots, heavy gear, heavy backpack, everything, and people were standing there with like ultra marathon running tights with ski boots, light ski boots on a old snowboard. So I was like, what is this and who are these guys? So of course I lost big time. And so the guy who won the challenge, I talked to him a lot and I asked him about the hard boots, why and what kind of boots and what kind of bindings and the whole shebang. And I went straight to the shop, bought myself my first pair, the Salomon X Alp, I think it's called. It's basically the same as the Arc'teryx Pro line. When that broke, I was in Chamonix, it broke, I went into Intersport and I said, give me the softest hard shell boot you have. And it also needs to be lightweight. So I bought the Fisher. I don't remember exactly what Fisher model it was, but it's like one of their more lightweight models. So when I cracked that one as well, I cracked the shell, it just exploded. I went on to trying the backlands. Oh, I've had many backlands. Yes. With link lever, without link lever, Atomic Backland Ultimate, Atomic Backland Pro. I tried everything except the carbon, because the carbon is super stiff and a snowboard boot should not be stiff, I think. So when I broke all of them, I had 3 or 4, 5 different pairs. I also went through a bit of different bindings in that period of time. I got this message from my friend Hampus, which one of the guys who makes these, and he said, we are making a soft boot in a hard shell. I went, huh. So after some talking back and forth, he sent me a pair and I tried them. It was amazing. It was so much difference from what I had been snowboarding on. Like, I went through all of the stages trying different boots and then ended up with the key equipment. And I got to test and see just what is the difference. Not just read about it, everything. And I think this whole talk and this whole video is not about me having a computer here saying all the things that this boot has or whatnot. It's only my experience on the boots. And from that day on, I've been skiing or snowboarding with the key equipment, disruptive boots. They're not the lightest one on the market. They are not the one with the most flexibility when you walk, but they are a snowboard boot in a hard shell. Often people are like, why, you know? Why do you go with the hard boots? And it's like I said in the beginning of the video, it's for me about my body, my ankles, my knees, my hips, my back, everything. Because of course it's not a soft boot. You will not get 100% the same feeling. You can't, because it is a different boot. And so I think once you get used to it, it's way better than skiing with the ski boot, you know, because these boots are made from the bottom up. Of course they have a shell, but they're made from the bottom up with the flex, with the dampening, with everything. So it's not supposed to be like a ski boot. A lightweight ski boot, you will often feel like if you're skiing on hard packed snow, you feel all of this. But in these boots, it just like, it absorbs the terrain a bit better, I think. Like, they have a bigger toe box, so they're a lot warmer than your regular ski touring rando boot. If you, like for me, for example, I'm a 28.5. When I take these out from the box in 28.5, they are super tight. Woo! They're so tight it feels like I should size up. But after getting them heat molded, they fit me perfectly. Every boot is just made in the factory, you know. Everyone has different feet, so I think it's really important to just make this boot a custom boot. Make it to your boot with all the small patches, or getting it punched out, or getting it heat molded, putting in a different liner, whatever floats your boat, you know. So I don't know, like I don't want to push or try to convince people to go hard boots, but of course I see more and more people do it, and that's really cool to see, and share the passion, share the joy, because there is something different also when skiing, you know. It's way more direct. It's super direct, going from heel edge to toe edge, because it doesn't have to go through, like in these soft boots, all the soft materials, the soft high back, and like it flexes a lot. But this is just stiff, you know. So the power transforms really quick. It's better walking compared to some soft boots, because some soft boots now have like these things in the back here, for example, that you can open up. And if you ask me, like, there is a lot to be said that you get a lot of range here. But it's not the same, I think, because here you have that ankle. Like, you can really move the ankle. But in the regular snowboard boot, if you go, you just go like this. Doot, doot. So it just gives a nice motion, I think. I can just go through the boot a little bit, like how it works. In the back, you have this thing that locks you in place here. And yes, now people saw it. Maybe I did some modification on the high back here. I'll talk about that later. You can adjust this one if you want a bit of more forward lean or less forward lean. Now I did it in the opposite way, but it's really easy to adjust. Some snow gets collected in here when riding, so before going into ride mode, be sure to like take out all the snow and ice, because I think if you do it just a lot of times with snow and ice in there and you like really press, might break it. Not sure. I haven't broken. It's power strap system. Power strap at the bottom, no, at the top, and power strap at the bottom. Keeps the heel in place. You can have it really, really, really tight, or you can have it moderate tight if that's what you like. So when I tour up, I usually tight the straps how tight I want them, but I leave the buckles open. And then I just walk, and when I'm at the top, I just have to tighten them. And then I don't have to deal with releasing up the power strap if I'm up high and it's a lot of snow and getting snow into the power straps. That's also one thing, like if I have ice axe or with my poles, I just punch the power straps a little bit, get rid of all the extra snow that's collected. This one is a bit different from the regular one, or let's do this one first. Yeah, I cut away the back here. Usually it's just like a small thing up here that provides a bit of stability, or like on the heel edge when leaning back, but I have some trouble with my Achilles, so I just had to get rid of it. This model has a bit of a different sole. It uses a Vibram sole. It's supposed to be around 100 grams lighter than the regular one. Firing up the weight. It says 1423 grams. 1,422 grams. So it's not the lightest boot out there. 110%. And just to do a comparison, I have a soft boot. This is a pretty light one. 1,196. And just to compare, like for people skiing, maybe they know about this boot. The Technica 0G, I think. It's 1524 grams. And the Scarpa, it should be like just over 1,000, I think. Yeah, 1,191. So it's around 300 grams heavier than the lightweight ski touring boot, and also with the soft boot. But for me, it just gives a lot more comfort when being out and about for a long time, and when walking a lot, when traversing a lot. I like that it's you can use fully automatic crampons. It's nice to climb with. It's quite a big thing to go and transition. And I think with this video, I just want to communicate, like, I went and tried so many different boots and bindings. And this is where it gets funny, because you will not have the same ride feel with different bindings. It's a big, big difference from, for example, Spark, Phantom and Karakoram. That's the three bindings I have tried and what I'm basing this knowledge from. So I started out with the Sparks, the Spark bindings and the Salomon XL boots. Mega stiff, super stiff, felt like a robot. My knees wouldn't go inwards even though I had canted pucks with the Sparks. So I had the Sparks for some time. I broke a couple of boards with them. I broke a couple of bindings with them because they are just built a bit different and they are really solid. They are not made to be twisted to give you more flex in the boot. And so let's say you have the Spark and the XL boot here, and all the way over here, if this is like the flex bar, you have the key equipment with the Phantom bindings. And for me, this is just the most durable combo, but maybe the most flexible as well. I tried the Karakoram one day in Chamonix with my solid board and I broke them. But they felt really good because they are super duper lightweight and they are really, really flexible. They're not stiff at all, and these aren't stiff either. And I think the big difference is I should have had the spark binding, but I don't. So these ones, of course, it's just a whole different way of building the binding. It's a different shape on the spark, and it also uses these different buckles here. So this one compared to the spark, and I think this is the one that makes the magic. This is where the magic happened, right here. This is a lot thinner, and it has room for the heel to move a little bit. So it gives you a nice lateral flex. I'll say this. I have this friend, Lars Melby. He has hard boots. He has the key equipments and he had the spark bindings. So I had an extra pair of phantom bindings and I let him try it. So first he went up to the slopes and he tried the spark bindings on his board, and then he had mounted up the phantom bindings. And it was so fun to, like, not just my words, you know, like not just me saying it's such a big difference, but he actually confirmed it, you know. So he came down and was just like, oh my God, how much of a big difference it is, and how the ride feel is different. And it's so weird because you can mix up with so many bindings and boots, but there will be so many different like feelings of splitboarding. It's not the same. It's not the same, like, yeah, I'm a hardbooter, but if someone says to me, yeah, I'm a hardbooter, so I'm, okay, what setup do you have? Oh, I have the key equipments. Yeah, but like, what bindings do you have? Like, I think a lot, like 50% is in the bindings, easy, because it allows you how much lateral flex will it give you. And for me, I haven't broken any of the phantom bindings. I've had some big crashes. Yes, I am working with phantom. So me saying like this is the binding that's the shit might be a bit, yep, but I'll say this. I tried for years and years to get onto the Phantom snowboards team. And this year is the first year I am working with them, and I'm super happy because I believe in their products. I've tried their products for years now and put them on big stuff. Like, I've gone fast, I've jumped high, I've been in the park with them, I've done rails with them, I've done everything. And they just keep on delivering. Of course, with any other splitboarding thing, I take care of my stuff. I check the screws, I use Loctite, all the springs and everything in this binding. I make sure it's nice and lubed. Now, same with the boots. I go over my screws a lot just to make sure it's tight and nice so it doesn't fall off. Because that's one thing. And anything on this boot can be changed. So if you have the shelf, the lower part, you can change out the tongue. If you want more stiffness, you can get another. You can get the new upper cuff. This one in the heel, you can get new. You can change it. Change liner. The only thing is, like, when you wear out the sole, I'm not sure if you can get the new one. Okay. I think that's it. I'll put them just over here. And we can have a look at the bindings. And I'll take out the weight. The weight. Me, I wear a set angles. So when I order this stuff, I know what angles I'm gonna have on my front foot, and I know what I'm gonna have on my back foot. So I am a plus 24 and a plus 9, and also just 0 in the back. These angles are set. They're a bit lighter than the other ones where you can adjust. I also wear the 3-in-1 cleats. That's where you can take it from your split board over to your solid board. So that's pretty nice. I've used those a bit. And I think the thing for me is like the set angles and the weight difference in this. So this is just 1 foot. This is my front foot. So if you have you need 2 of these. This weighs 79 grams. This also, 3-in-1 cleat, is just one. It's for 1 foot. So you need 2 of these as well. It's 167 grams. One binding. This is the large, extra large. It's 516 grams. So the whole setup is it's a lot of weight. It is. I think having a bit of a heavier setup that's made for snowboarding, it's gonna give you a snowboard feel, but having like a super light rando setup for training and just getting down works 100%, but it's just a different thing. It's just a different category of snowboarding, I think. I have a board behind me, the Stone snowboards, which is mounted right now. I'm gonna put on my bindings. I'm gonna step onto the shoes, and I'm gonna show you guys the lateral flex of the boot. I also am gonna put on my soft boot just to do the same flex test on, and like what I'm testing is like the lateral flex. That's what I want to just show the difference in the boots. And if I get the Scarpas to fit in my Phantom bindings, I will give them a shot as well and not break them. Just do a little bit of flexibility test. Let's mount up these bad boys. Let's strap in. Used to stand like this when I was a kid, huh? So yeah, I think a lot, like this is where it comes down to, like the lateral flex. And I think in a lot of snowboard boots or ski boots, like it's just very stiff for the knees to come together. Like as you can see, it's pretty good to put pressure into things, and like having a hard boot, but still getting like the pressure, you know, bam, to put in a nice turn, or to just, if you're landing, if you're doing big cliffs, and so it doesn't stop you. It's really, it doesn't feel like you're hitting a wall. A lot of the boots, like a ski boot for example, that locks in the back, you come here, you go forward, bang, and you stop, and you go backwards and you stop. But this one just has a bit more flex, 100%. So yeah, that's the key equipment. I'm gonna see if I can fit the Scarpas. Should work. Easy. So this is the Scarpa FNLT. It's a lightweight ski rando boot. Like I think maybe I can try and push it, but I just feel it a lot different in my knee. And I see like I see the boot flexing somewhat really weird. I don't want to push it too far. It's bending like crazy here. And it's just a lot more stiff, of course, on the back and also in the front. Feels like hitting a wall, especially in the back, but of course you can adjust it a little bit. But yeah, it's a bit different. A lot different, I'd say. Okay, so that's the hard boots. I'm gonna take on my soft boot bindings and give it a try. All right, soft boots on. Oh, it's also always nice to click, 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 click. Might be a bit of a different stance, but I think it gives a good idea. And here you have like there's nothing stopping you. There's no working against the plastic or anything. Here you have I mean, like it's just my knees. It's like I'm tubing. So yeah, you can see the difference. It is some different, but the big difference I think is like try to do it with the key equipments, the Pro clients, the Scarpa, whatever boot people are using, and try to do it on different bindings. It would be so cool to try and have the Spark bindings, for example, but not just the Spark bindings, but like have some kind of arrangement that we can measure how much force are put into the bindings and where on the bindings it's distributed, because that's the big thing. That is the big thing. And that's why some of the bindings break, I think. Because the pressure comes down to this small area, it just breaks. Because there is just thin material being used, so... Okay, so that's just me and my opinions and what I have experienced. Nothing more, nothing fancy, but I've been using this setup for quite some years now. I've tried some of the different bindings, boots, boards, whatever. So yeah, it's really cool to see that more and more people are looking into the key equipment boots. The people behind the boot are really special, I think. Really innovative people with new ideas that I think will take snowboarding further. And yeah, it's a lot of good things happening in the snowboard world, I think. And super fun that people are looking into hard boots, man. If you have any questions for me, like send me a DM on Instagram, Chris Kupa on Instagram, or leave a comment on the video. So yeah, I'm up for a discussion. And I really like hearing what people have experienced, like with the different boots, with the different bindings, or if it's just me, because I am a tall guy. I'm a 194 centimeters tall, 90 kilos, 28 and a half boot size. So I think that's it. Yeah, thanks for watching, I guess.